Hello students, this is the fifth part in the video series for the normalization. So please do watch the previous videos before you come to this video. So in this video we are going to study how to find out the candidate keys in a relation. So consider the relation R having the attributes A, B, C, D and E and having the functional dependencies A determines B and D determines E. So, for the step one to find out the candidate key, you will start by finding the attribute closure. So, you can take all the attributes and find the closure. So, when you take all the attributes A, B, C, D, E and you find the closure, you will get the closure as A, B, C, D, and E. The next step is to check whether this attribute closure is a super key. So, for the attribute closure to be a super key, it must contain all the attributes of the relation R. So is the closure containing all the attributes of the relation R? Here there are 5 attributes A, B, C, D, E, and the closure also contains all those 5 attributes. Therefore, can we declare this as a super key? Yes, we can declare this as a super key. So therefore, in the first step, by finding the attribute closure, we determine whether the attribute closure can be a super key. If there is a super key, then we proceed further. Okay. So a combination of all the attributes generally is a super key. So once you find a super key, you need to find a minimal super key. Okay. So how do we find a minimal super key? So let's see. So to find a minimal super key, use the given functional dependencies. Okay. So now you see that is the functional dependency is given that A determines B. So therefore, since A determines B, you can discard B from the super key. Okay. So you can discard B from the super key. So your super key will now become A, C, D, and E. So you will think that how come this is a super key? Okay. A, C, D, and E. Because we had said that a super key should contain all the attributes of R, and here R is not there. R one attribute of R, that is B, is missing. So is ACD is still a super key? Let's check. How do you find that? To check whether ACD is a super key, find out the closure. Okay, when you find out the closure of ACDE using reflexivity rule, you will get in the closure, this is the answer I'm writing. Okay, so in the closure you will get, using the reflexivity rule, you will get A, C, D, and E. So once you have got this A, C, D, and E in the answer, check the given functional dependencies. Okay, whether any of these are there in the left hand side of the functional dependence. So you can see here that A is present on the left hand side. Okay, attribute A is present on the left hand side, and it says that A determines B. Therefore you can include B in the answer. Okay, check whether any of the other attributes are present in the functional dependencies on the left hand side. You can see that D is present on the left hand side here. Okay, D is present. It's given that D determines E, but E is already present in the answer, so there's no need to write. So now the attribute closure for ACDE is having all the 5 attributes of the relation R. Therefore, did you understand that how ACDE is still a super key? So the answer to that is yes, it is still a super key. Given this super key, is there any functional dependency by which we can eliminate or discard any attribute from here? Yes, we are having one more functional dependency where it is given D determines E. Okay, so using that we will see that we can discard E from ACDE. So when you discard E, you will get ACD. Okay, using the functional dependency D determines E, we are discarding E from here. When you discard E from here, we get ACD. So is ACD still a super key? You can check by finding the attribute closure for that. Okay, please check. So let's continue. Can you discard anything further from this super key ACD? Okay, can you discard? So for that, to discard anything, you need to find a functional dependency. So is there any other functional dependency by which we can discard any of these attributes? So the answer is no. ACD cannot be determined by any of the given functional dependencies. Okay. So therefore, ACD is your minimal super key. Okay. So once you have found out the minimal super key, you need to go to the next step. Okay. So can you check whether your minimal super key is now a candidate key? So to find out a candidate key, you'll find out all the proper subsets of ACD. Okay. So the proper subsets of ACD are AC, CD, AD, AC, and D. So once you find out all the proper subsets of ACD, okay, you will find out whether in the proper subsets of ACD are super keys. So to find out whether the proper subsets of ACD are super keys, you need to find the attribute closure of the proper subsets. Okay, so you will find out the attribute closure of all these proper subsets of ACD. So please find out these attribute closures for AC, AD, CD, A, C, and D. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I've already shown you how to find the attribute closure. So please find out the attribute closure. So after you find out the attribute closure, you will see that none of them are super keys. So since none of these proper subsets are super keys, so therefore we can conclude that since no proper subset of ACD is a super key, therefore we conclude that ACD is a candidate key. Understood? So this is the way you can find out whether a given closure is a which is a super key can be a candidate key. So just to summarize what we did, given a relation R, we found out the closure of the entire set of attributes A, B, C, D, and E. When we found out the closure contained all the attributes. So therefore, we concluded that A, B, C, D, E is a super key. So then, to find out whether it's a candidate key, we need to reduce this super key to a minimal super key. So we did that by discarding the attributes. Okay. So by discarding the attributes, we found out the minimal super key. Okay, which turned out to be ACD. Okay, so once we got a minimal super key, then we wanted to find out whether the proper subset of the minimal super key, whether they are super keys or not. So we found out, in order to do that, we found first the proper subsets, and of the proper subsets we found the closure. So after finding the closure, we saw that none of the closures of the proper subsets are super keys. So since no proper subset of that is a super key, therefore we concluded that ACD is a candidate key. Okay, so I hope you have understood how to find out a candidate key. So after finding out one candidate key, are there any more candidate keys? Okay, the question is that. So how to determine that is, first find out what are the prime attributes. So prime attributes are nothing but attributes of the candidate key. So here we have found out ACD is the candidate key. Therefore, the prime attributes are A, C, and D. So once you have found out the prime attributes, you can try to find out if there are any more candidate keys present for the relation R. How do you do that? So there are two steps. So the first step we have already done. Discard the attributes one by one from the super keys. Okay, we have already seen this. The second step is, once we have found out the prime attributes, check if the prime attributes are available on the right hand side of the given functional dependencies. Okay, So if they are present, then we need to do more steps. Otherwise, if they are not available on the right hand side, then you can conclude that the given or the candidate key that you have found is the only candidate key in the relation. So these are the attributes A, C, and D. Check whether they are present on the right hand side of the relation R in the functional dependencies. Okay, in the functional dependency, are they present in the right hand side? No, they are not present in the right hand side of the given functional dependencies. Okay, so therefore if they are not available, then what we will conclude, that the candidate key ACD is the only candidate key in the relation. Okay, so therefore is in this example ACD is the only candidate key. Now you may think, what to do if you find out that the prime attributes are present on the right hand side of the functional dependencies. What to do? Okay, so let's see one more example for that case. So consider a new relation R having the attributes A, B, C, D and having the functional dependencies A determines B, B determines C, and C determines A. So to find out the candidate key, first start by finding the attribute closure. Okay, so take all the attributes A, B, C, D and find the closure. So when you find a closure using the reflexivity rule, you get that attribute closure is A, B, C, D. Okay. Since the attribute closure of A, B, C, D is having all the attributes, therefore we can conclude that this is a super key. Okay. A, B, C, D is a super key. So now we need to find out a minimal super key. Given a super key, let's find out the minimal super key using the functional dependencies. Okay, so checking the functional dependencies, you find that you're given that A determines B. Okay, so therefore we can discard B from this super key, so therefore we will get ACD. Okay, now can you discard anything further from ACD? Okay, can you discard anything further from ACD? So using the inference rules, you know that A determines B, okay, it's given, and B determines C. So therefore, using the inference rules, we can say that A determines C. Okay, so therefore, we can discard C from this super key. So when you discard C, we get AD. Okay, now check whether you can discard anything further from AD. Okay, using the functional dependencies or using the inference rules of applying the inference rules to the functional dependencies. Can you discard anything? No, you cannot discard anything, and AD also cannot be determined by the given functional dependencies. Therefore, what do you mean by this? A or D are not appearing on the right hand side here. Okay, it is appearing here, A is appearing on the right hand side here. Okay, but C is not present in my super key, is not present in my super key, so I cannot use this functional dependency. Okay, simply because A is appearing on the right hand side, but C also should have been part of my super key, but it is not, so I cannot use this functional dependency. So therefore, I conclude that my minimal super key is AD. Okay, I cannot minimize or I cannot reduce it further. Now check whether AD is a candidate key. So to do that, you will find all the proper subsets of AD. So the proper subsets of AD are A and D. Once you find the proper subsets, check whether they are super keys. The proper subsets are super keys. So to do that, you will find the closure of A and D. You will find the attribute closure of A and D. So please find out the attribute closure of A and D. So the attribute closure for A will be ABC and the attribute closure for D is D. Now you can see that none of these attribute closures are super keys. Okay, if this attribute closures was super keys, then it should have had all the attributes of the relation R. Okay, R is having four attributes, sorry, A, B, C, and D. But here the closure is having only three attributes. Similarly, the closure for D is having only one attribute. So therefore, A as well as D are not super keys. Okay, so since they are not super keys, can we conclude that the proper subsets of AD are not super keys? Yes, we can conclude that proper subsets of AD are not super keys. Therefore, can we conclude that AD is a candidate key? Yes. Since no proper subset of AD is a super key, therefore we can conclude that AD is a candidate key. Okay. Now we have found out that the first candidate key in this relation are AD. Okay. Let's check if there are more candidate keys. So to find out that, let's go to the next slide. So to find out more candidate keys, you need to determine the prime attributes. So like discussed previously, prime attributes are the attributes of the candidate key. So in this case, the prime attributes are A and D. So to determine if there are any more candidate keys, okay, check whether the prime attributes are available on the right hand side of the functional dependencies. So these are your prime attributes. Check whether they are available on the right hand side. Right hand side of your functional dependencies. Are they available? Yes. Attribute A is available on the right hand side here. Okay. So then what you need to do is, since we have found the prime attribute A on the right hand side for the given functional dependency, C determines A, what we will do is, in the candidate key AD, which we had already found, in place of A, we can write C, since it is given that C determines A. Okay, since we are having a functional dependency C determines A, so here in place of A, we can write C. So therefore you will get CD. Okay. Therefore you will get CD. I hope you understood. I'll repeat this. Once you have found out the prime attributes, check whether the prime attributes are there on the right hand side. So here we find that the prime attribute is there on the right hand side. So therefore for this candidate key, using this functional dependency, since it says C determines A, we replace this A with C and we get CD. Okay, given the using this functional dependency. But just by replacing A with C, it does not mean that CD is a candidate key. Okay, please note it, just because we are replacing A with C does not mean that CD is a candidate key, but CD definitely is a super key. So how you can conclude that CD is a super key? By finding the closure for CD. Okay, you can find out the closure for CD and see that CD is a super key. Okay, you will get all the attributes. You will get all the attributes A, B, C, and D. Okay, I'm not doing it. You please do it and check. I've already shown you how to find the attribute closure. Please do that. So now we need to check whether CD is a candidate key. Okay, we need to check whether CD is a candidate key. So we are super key CD is a candidate key. Now let's check for it. Okay. So to do that, we find all the proper subsets of CD. Okay. The proper subsets of CD are C and D. Now CD is already a minimal super key, therefore we are not minimizing it further. Okay. Otherwise, you would have to find out a minimal super key, but we can't minimize it further. Okay, because already we had minimized AD. Okay, we had derived CD from AD, right, from the discussed previously. We cannot minimize it further. We cannot discard any other attributes and minimize it further. If we could, then we should minimize. Okay, so here first find out all the proper subsets of CD. So they are C and D. Next, determine if the proper subsets are super keys. So to do that, find the attribute closures. So find the attribute closure of C and D. So when you find out the attribute closure, you will see that attribute closure of C is CAB, and attribute closure as found out previously is D only. None of the attribute closures of C and D are having. We can conclude that since no proper subset of CD is a super key, therefore CD is also a candidate key. Okay. So now we have found out two candidate keys, AD and CD. Since we have found out a new candidate key, update the prime attributes. So previously the prime attributes were A and D. Now you include the new prime attribute that you have found, that is C. So now the prime attributes for the relation R will be A, D and C. Okay. Now check whether any more candidate keys are present. So to do that, you will find out whether these prime attributes are available on the right hand side of the functional dependencies. Okay. So check and you will find that it is present here, but we have already checked for this functional dependency. Okay. A is present here on the right hand side, but we have already checked for this functional dependency. Therefore, there is no need to check again for that. Okay. Check if any other functional dependency is having the prime attribute on the right hand side. So here you can see that this prime attribute C is present on the right hand side here. Therefore, we need to take this functional dependency. Okay. So what we will do is, like discussed previously, what we need to do, students, can you tell me? So since C is found here on the right hand side, what we will do? Using this functional dependency, since this functional dependency says B determines C, so in place of C here, we can replace it with B. So in this candidate key, in place of C, you can write B. So therefore you get BD. So just because we are replacing C with B does not mean that BD is a candidate key. Okay. But BD is definitely a super key. Again, you can check that BD is a super key by finding the attribute closure for BD. Okay. So to check whether BD is a candidate key, we need to find the proper subsets of BD. By now, you must have already guessed that we need to find out the proper subsets of BD. Okay. Before finding out proper subsets, actually we wanted to find out a minimal super key of BD. But since BD is already a minimal super key, I cannot discard any attributes further. So we directly go to find the proper subsets of BD. So the proper subsets of BD are B and D. Okay. Next, check whether they are super keys. B and D are super keys. So to do that, find the attribute closure of B and D. So when you find out the attribute closures of B and D, you will get that none of them are super keys. The attribute closure of B also is not super key. Attribute closure of D also is not super key. So if both the proper subsets of BD are not super keys, what you can conclude? You can conclude that therefore, since no proper subset of BD, which was in this example it was B and D, are super keys, therefore you can conclude that BD is a candidate key. So once you have found out the new candidate key, update the prime attributes that you had found previously. So now the prime attributes will be A, D, C and B. So once you find out the new prime attributes, check whether these prime attributes are available on the right hand side of the functional dependencies. Okay. So you find that A is present here in the functional dependency, but we have already used that. D is not present on the right hand side anywhere. C is present on the right hand side here, but we have already used this functional dependency. Okay. And B is present here. B is present on the right hand side here. For the functional dependency, A determines B. So therefore, in place of B, in place of B, you can write A. Okay, and you get AD. But we have already found out that AD is a candidate key. So we need not find out, we need not check whether again AD is a candidate key. So therefore, for this example, we can stop finding out candidate keys. So therefore, we can conclude that the candidate keys for the given relation are AD, CD, and BD. And the prime attributes are A, B, C, and D. So students, I hope you have understood how to find out the candidate keys for a given relation R. So you need to practice this. Okay, you need to practice this many times to understand. So please practice, and thank you for listening.